Oh, there it is.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Rere. I will be your host for episode 11. And with me is.
I'm Insomnia.
I'm James Sinner from London, England.
I'm Heater or Exotic.
All right. And today's topic is about cannibals. Now, for the first question, what are your thoughts about cannibal?
He wants to go first. I'll let someone else speak first, and I'll put
Um,
my comments in.
I guess I'll go first here. Why? Why would you just think to do that? Like, if it's a last resort thing, I guess, but if it's not, then you're fucked up. if you decide to eat a
Yeah.
whole nother person just because you want to, it's messed up. If it's a last resort, understandable, but still fucked up.
Mhm.
Okay. I mean, cannibalism, the definition is the act of consuming another individual of the same species as food.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the thing is, I mean, we've been around for a long time. I mean, cannibalism has been quoted as not being ever been socially acceptable. There's no evidence for it. It's gone back 900,000 years, and the only reason people know that is because if you actually analyze bone data, you can actually tell what people had as their diet, and that's how they can do carbon dating. I think the hubris of humans thinks that because we're human, we're better than that. But you have to understand, if you look to the animal kingdom, it's actually quite rife, and I think there's 1,500 species that actually partake in cannibalism in the animal kingdom, and 90% of aquatic ecosystems engage in cannibalism at least once in their life cycle. So it's so common in the animal kingdom, but why is it so bad for us and not for them?
I'm not really sure. I guess the involvement of humans, I guess. We're different from like
Yeah.
animals and just normal humans, I guess. The difference.
Humans have a higher intelligence than most animals.
Okay, I can understand that. I mean, most people that argue that animal kingdom, like cats and dogs, or any animal, don't have a sense of a moral code because that's not how they kind of live their
Some
lives.
do.
They don't have a moral code and they don't have a sense of ethics. But if you think about cats and dogs who love their owners and they kind of doting on their owners, I mean, you know what dogs and cats can be like, especially dogs. If an owner passes away in their property, a sole owner, like an elderly person in their 80s, and they have a heart attack and die, and that cat is not getting fed or that dog's not getting, they will, in many, many cases, feed on the flesh of their owner, and they go for the face. So if you want an open casket funeral, it's not going to be very pretty. But I mean,
Yeah.
you have to think when you die. I mean, think if you die. I mean, sometimes if you die in a serious accident, like a tragic accident, and they don't know the cause, you get cut into pieces. You get obliterated, like if you're a car accident. Arms, legs flying. I've actually been unfortunate circumstance where I've seen someone get run over by a train, and that image is ingrained in my memory. But you mind being eaten? Really? I mean, is it that bad? Because once you're dead, you're dead. It's just if you're being buried, you're going to be eaten by maggots and fauna and flora and worms and all that. So you're still being eaten at the end of the day. Does it matter who eats you?
No.
Yeah, there are a lot
Yeah,
of layers to it.
So
I mean, I think
It appears Peter is gone.
yeah,
Gone.
Peter is gone.
Okay.
So we're gonna go to the next one. Do
Okay.
you think cannibalism are still practiced today? Do you think some people are still out there eating people?
Of course.
Oh, of course there is. I mean,
Yeah.
well, I mean, I think there's the Kurowai tribe who live in southwest Papua, how would you pronounce it? And they actually eat fellow tribesmen, but they actually believe that who they're eating is someone who's possessed. So something I think read up on it was called a kakua, like a witch in male form. But they don't consider eating that person. They're consuming evil. So we think from a Western perspective, oh God, but they don't kind of partake in kind of society that we do, where it's immoral to do things like that. It's normal for them. You can't judge another culture by your own standards because that's ethnocentrism, really.
Oh my.
I mean, Fiji was really bad for cannibals. It still happens now. You've got people in the Ganges, tribes on the Ganges that feed on cremated remains of their relatives. It's more ritualistic. It's not really. They don't kill people to eat them. It's just something part of their culture. So you can't really. I mean, there was a documentary I watched, and how a BBC interviewer went to a tribe, one of not the kind of indigenous tribes, but tribes that were quite acceptable of white people because they don't like white people.
Oh.
They're frightened of people who are white, and they don't actively go out to kill people like you see in the movies. They always people going out to hunt and eat people alive. That's not how cannibals don't eat people alive.
They kinda cut the bodies part before, right? Or just feed them to the other animals, or what I heard of.
Well, I mean, from an animal's perspective, an animal doesn't know what it means to be human. It's just meat. To
Yeah.
be honest with you,
Uh,
and
Pretty sure most animals would just see us as oversized apes. And
well, I mean, it's like a baby falls into a swamp and a crocodile eats the baby. It's not murder.
Oh.
Either the animal feels threatened or it doesn't really understand that that's a human. It doesn't have that same life experience. So you can't call an alligator a murderer. I mean, a chimpanzee will rip your arms off and chew your face off if it really wanted to. And they're
Yeah.
actually 99 or 98% sharing DNA than us. I mean,
chimps are scary.
yeah, they're very, very, very
Right.
strong.
Mm.
I was
Insomnia, have
reading a
you?
new.
Insomnia, have you answered the question yet?
Do I think it's still practiced today? Of course.
Yeah.
Like, there's always some sick person out there that's gonna want to do it or has done it.
I mean, well, I'll get onto that later, but I mean, whether it's done in Western society, I don't think it is, because I mean, it very, very, very seldom. Only, and it comes under mental illnesses, which comes later. But in indigenous tribes and undiscovered tribes, because they don't understand what they don't understand. They live on Earth, and the Earth is round. They just have their surroundings. That's all they know. So when people come in helicopters, they get very, very aggressive, and that's why there's an law which saying you cannot disturb those tribes. Just leave them alone, and they probably do. But is it wrong to their standards?
No,
Probably not.
I guess no. So because they're out of touch of the rest of the world from us, right?
Understand anything about religion. I mean, they've got their own religions. They always do. They have their own kind of god of the mountains and all these
Yeah.
things that we think preposterous. Yeah, preposterous. But they don't really understand what living. They obviously have their own society, but they don't understand anything to do with electronics. They don't understand all the evolution, all the history we've been through. They're ignorant of World War II and everything that's been happening, and they've been going on for many, many, many years. They kind of
Out
keep
of
their society
touch.
going.
Yes. All right, let's just go to the next one now. What's your favorite cannibalism horror movie? Have you watched any horror movies that the other person are eating a human?
I think there's one that comes to everyone's mind. I haven't seen it yet, but Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, I thought you were going to mention that, but carry on.
Wait, what was the movie?
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh yeah, no, of course. Like,
She didn't know that was a cannibalism movie.
yeah, they're all
There
cannibals.
was
That's why they kill
there
people.
was some. They
It's like,
pick up hitchhikers and kill them and eat the bodies of their corpse.
Yeah, it's the first movie I remember. It's a bunch of people going out to, I think, their old grandfather's house or something, and then they end up running across a family of cannibals and just psychos.
Mm-hmm. What about you, James?
You love watching. I mean, if I start off in a TV, I mean, I'll start off with movies. There are one, and you'll both know these. It's a franchise which I wish, for some reason, number 6 was the last one, and the first one I could mention was has anyone seen Wrong Turn?
Oh,
What?
I've heard of Wrong Turn.
Absolutely. Oh, the amount of kills, the really ingenious kills, that kind of, yeah. And I just remember there was one scene where he was literally stripping the flesh, like gradually stripping and eating the meat, and it's just this. Yeah, that was disgusting. But that you think that's tame compared to? Has anyone seen Hannibal Holocaust? Cannibal Holocaust.
Yes, I've
Oh
watched that
god, yeah.
before.
When he cuts his penis off and sort
Oh,
burns the wound.
I always thought that was kind of funny.
Oh, just to watch that as a man, to watch that, it's not pleasant. But I thought that was bad. But has anyone seen the Green Inferno?
I've heard of the Green.
Oh no,
There's a
no.
scene where it's very graphic. He puts his hand, he gouges his eyes out, pulls his eyes out, eats it, cuts his tongue out, does everything, cuts his arm off, cuts his other arm off, and gradually dismembered. I mean, that's the worst way to die. I mean, and it was ritualistic. I mean, from Western, to be frank, from a Western society, we would think that's absolutely epitome for evil, but for them, it's just serving their god, sacrificing to their god. And a lot of these very ancient religions do human sacrifices, and they believe it's a way. And also, they believe that eating people is a way of gaining their spirit and gaining their strength. It's not correct, but to their mind, because they're not scientific, that's what they believe. But that's the only cannibal horror movies I can think about. I mean,
Okay.
the only problem is that every single movie is always about raw flesh. It's like eating people alive. It's never kind of the actual reality of how people do in real life actually consume people.
In Texas Chainsaw, they kill the people and then eat them afterwards. It's like,
But did they kill them for food, or was it just happened? They just
I
Mostly.
don't know actually if it was originally for food or if he just did it because they barged into his house. Because if you look at it, at first it just seems like they're breaking into these people's house and they're killing them in self-defense. But then towards the end, he goes out and starts hunting them. So it's most likely for food. And I think they explain it more in one of the many reboots of the
I mean,
series.
the funny thing is, if I was to cook for you and I'd make you let me say, a steak and kidney pie, and I was to use human kidneys, you would not know the difference.
Probably not.
People think that cannibalism is just eating flesh, but if you was to eat your actual
Eating organs as well.
I mean, look, think about people who give birth to babies. They have a placenta, they have an umbilical cord. It's not against what that comes later on. I'll mention that, but people eat their own placenta.
Oh,
it's part of your body, but it's considered legal because it's considered a waste product. So you can do what you want. You can take it home, do what you want with it. People have it, and it tastes very nice. So I've heard.
All right. I guess we should go to the next one. Um, should cannibalism be legalized?
God, no.
What do you guys thought of that?
Of course not. But I don't
Say
think cannibalism should be legalized, like in in like the states and all that, and in some countries. Like if it's some tribe that we're not supposed to disturb, they can do what they've been doing for years. But
you do realize that
they don't follow the same laws and stuff as everyone else because they have their own.
what's the laws of the jungle, isn't it?
Yeah.
Quite literally.
Well,
You do
like,
realize that
every
sorry, go on.
country and state, they all have laws that you have to follow. So I really don't think anyone would see cannibalism as like something you should legalize.
Did you know that cannibalism is actually legal in the USA?
Oh, what?
Oh, excuse
It's legal.
me.
Check it up. The only reason why it's so difficult is, it's even legal in Germany as well. But there's so many different kind of legislations around it, which makes it very, very hard to do. So there was an issue, a German man, you might have heard of this story. It's going back about 10, 20 years. And a German man posted an advert. He was a cannibal, and he wanted to eat someone. And a man responded to his advert and came around his house. So he consented, and if you give consent, it's okay. So what he did, he dined on his testicles. I don't know what exactly he did it with garlic. He ate his testicles, but then after that, he stabbed him with a 7-inch knife.
Oh,
when he went to trial, he was not tried on cannibalism charges. He was tried for murder because he stabbed him, he killed him, which wasn't part of the consent, and then started eating on the rest of his body. So
sometimes it reminds me of the like dark webs, like what's shady deals that are happening around there.
Say that again.
Do you guys know about the dark web? like I don't know why, but you saying that it's kind of give me an image to like uh an old thing happen in the dark web. You can just search up bodies or something, and you can
You
just
talk about like,
basically do anything. The dark
Kind of like
web,
a
are you
you
talking
don't?
market.
about like selling your body parts on a black market or something? Which is,
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
it's
it's
like kind of
like,
like online,
Hmm.
oh yeah,
dark
the
web.
black market, yeah, the dark web, yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, you are able to donate your kidney. We've got two kidneys. You only
Yeah.
need one. You could. It's your body part. So what I thought to myself, say you have a massive accident like a motorbike or a car, and you know you're going to be have your leg amputated or your arm amputated. I'm thinking, would I? That's my body part. You're going to get rid of it. How about I take it home and maybe cook it and eat it? I mean, it's ridiculous, but I mean, it's mine.
Yeah.
It's that's the interesting thing. If you have an amputation, can you actually take it? I need to actually check with my mum works in there. I need to ask her, can you actually eat? It's your own body part, it belongs to you, so it's not against the law. It's
I
just
have
dead
no
tissue.
idea. So I'm
I
going back to the
guess
thing
that's true.
where you said cannibalism was like there's no law against it in America. Yeah, that's true. It's not that it's illegal, it's just there's no law about it.
It's yeah, it is very they put things in place where it's just very hard to kind of follow through.
Yeah,
But
there's a lot of like rules behind it. Like it has to be
yeah, yeah.
consensual.
So
And
I don't
you
you
Yo,
learn
can't just
something new every
do it.
day. It's actually
Yeah,
amazing to
I
think.
don't
Yeah.
know if I needed to learn that, but hey, now I know.
Has anyone seen the
And
film? And this is what actually makes cannibalism attractive. If you let me finish what I'm going to say, Hannibal on Netflix, where he kind of kills people and cuts them up, but he doesn't eat the skin; he eats the organs, and he makes it into delicious meals, and it looks really, really nice. And the funny thing is, he used to cut people's legs off and serve it to them, and one of his guests actually ate his own leg, and he thought it tasted quite nice. He said compliments to the chef.
What?
what? All right,
What?
James, I want to know what? How do you know this stuff? How do you know this stuff? I'm worried right now. All right.
Hannibal with if you've watched Casino Royale, James Bond, it's he's Mads Mikkelsen. He's a Danish actor,
Mhm.
very famous Danish. Yeah, he played Hannibal from the spin-off from the Hannibal Lecters, you know, and yeah, he used to, and they showed you all the way he cooked, and it really like exquisite, and he served it to his guests, but they didn't know.
Oh God.
No,
Yeah.
I'm really worried. How? My God, you really did your research? But wow,
No, I've
wow.
seen all three seasons. It's just very. It's been highly rated. Hannibal.
Oh my
oh yeah,
God.
Hannibal.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
Hannibal
I
with
think I think
Mads
I know that.
Mikkelsen.
I think I know that.
Don't
Sorry.
get film. You got the film Hannibal, but you got the
Yeah.
Silence of the Lambs with Hannibal Lecter.
I must have to
Then you've
check.
got
Mm,
the sequel Hannibal. Then the prequel was Red Dragon. I'm talking about the series.
Yeah, Hannibal Lecter. Isn't
Oh,
that the guy? Isn't that the guy who like
yeah, he was a psychiatrist who just liked to eat human meat.
I think he does this
he he cooked it.
he eats very fancily. Hannibal Lecter.
Yes, he's like nice glass of wine, a nice
Yeah, like
Beethoven in the background.
honestly, if human flesh was prepared to me the way Hannibal Lecter does it, I wouldn't even say no. Like I would try it. I would
Really
try
good.
it, bro. Yeah, I
It
mean,
looked really good.
funny, because
it just
that's
looks
the
really
next
good.
question. Now, would you ever resort to cannibalism in the apocalypse? Now, that's kind of funny question since you guys just said it.
Um, well,
Okay, who goes first? And Simon.
uh, it's something that you
Go
might
for it.
have to consider, and if it really all comes down to
Mm.
that, then I would see people doing that. Uh, is is there a problem with it? Kinda, but at the same time, food is very scarce, and survival of the fittest is also a thing to consider. Plus,
Mm.
primal instincts will kick in. Just we need
Primal instincts, exact.
action.
Yeah, to feed. That's the basic primal instinct. Yes,
Yeah,
to
we need
survive and to feed. Yeah.
that's all it is, and our bodies are gonna make us do it eventually if it comes down to it.
Mm.
I mean, the thing is, I mean, why? if it comes to the apocalypse, what's wrong with the animals? Where are the animals? Where they've all gone?
Well, eventually in the apocalypse, maybe they can't keep their species alive, so they start dying off, and eventually there's none left. Or it's just
We're not.
hated and disgusting, and will kill
Yeah,
you.
we're
Like,
not sure what kind of apocalypse this is. Probably a nuclear one, or just I don't know. Oh,
could
I
be
don't know what
zombie,
kind of apocalypse.
nuclear, could be a
Yeah.
nuclear
I mean,
apocalypse, a zombie
why?
apocalypse.
Why is it? Yeah, but why is it that zombies in every single film, probably maybe apart from one or two, they always seem to feed on human flesh? Why is it that's why is it humans? They never go for the animals or the cats and the dogs. They always go for other humans. I never understand how that works.
Yeah,
I think
I see some zombies eat either horse, chicken, or something else like and
I've
anything that don't run away that fast.
But they never eat each other. They always eat humans who are not zombies. They never feed on each other, which doesn't make sense at
well,
all.
I mean,
the
yeah,
whole
I mean,
concept of a
Zombies.
zombie is weird, anyways. Like,
I
I
think
think the best
zombies are
zombie
just,
horror. Sorry,
I think zombies are just against cannibalism themselves.
Well, yeah.
they're eating other people, though. Technically, a zombie is still a person.
Yeah, but they're different. They're very different from each other. Zombies are infected with the rage virus, and humans aren't. So
Or
like,
whatever they're infected.
Resident Evil, the H virus.
Resident Evil, the H virus.
You mentioned the H virus. I had
I think it
was
was
the
a
H,
G
then it was the G
virus.
virus, then the T. Yeah, then it was the T virus. I lose track of this narrative of that game because there's so much spin-offs.
Mm. Mm. Okay, I think that's enough for that question. Should we go to the next one, right?
Yeah, I think we should.
That's
Okay.
fine.
Now, if you're in a situation, if you get caught by a cannibal, what would you do?
Oh,
Hmm. Well, are you able to fight back, or like have they already
But
taken
yeah,
apart? There's a
well,
lot of
he kind of let me give like a scenario. So you've been kidnapped and probably put in a basement, and you're just waiting to be eaten. So what you gonna do?
if you're just like trapped in a basement and there's some cannibal who's gonna eat you if you don't either escape or I don't know, kill him in retaliation. Um, who knows? There's a lot of options there. Like you could try to kill him, or you could just give up. You could try to escape. There's a lot of things.
I mean, when the question said captured by a cannibal, as in singular, I think one person. I'm okay with that. I
Yeah.
can. You see so many films about people get captured, and they have an opportunity. A very frustrating to watch. I mean, you do
Oh
have
my
something called Stockholm syndrome, where people who get
god.
captured
Mm-hmm.
fall in love.
Yeah.
It's a mental. It's diagnosed, and they fall in love with the captor. That I can appreciate. But the fact is that if a cannibal is going to capture you, you probably worry more about being raped and murdered than being eaten. That's on the probability scale. You don't think, oh, they're
That would
going to
probably
eat me.
be on the
You
list.
wouldn't expect to be eaten. But I mean, any kind of capture situation. I mean, you fight or flight. I mean, you can't run. You've got to fight, and it's just the animalistic, your primal instincts is to fight or flight. You'd fight. You'd find a weapon, bite their. It's just. I mean, there's so many movies that it's just about kind of where people get captured and obviously they don't know they're going to be eaten, but it's any movies don't really kind of follow those lines. They kind of, if they're going to eat you, they're going to do it right now. They don't kind of go in the put you in the basement, go in the garlic, go in the kitchen and cut some garlic and chop some onions and saute some onions, and then it's time to. Yeah, it never works.
So I guess you're fighting back the cannibals, right?
You'd have to. I mean, yeah, you'd have to. I mean, unless they're going to say, "I'm going to eat you." I mean, I think there's many. It's almost like James Bond when the villain tells you exactly what's going to happen, and even that horrible movie, that horrible.
James Bond.
Sorry, go on.
No, I wasn't gonna say anything. I was just commenting on the James
I was
Bond.
going to mention that horrible movie where this disgusting movie directed by Tom Six. I think it's the when they tie.
What movie is
Yeah,
it?
human centipede. Yeah,
Human
where he kind
centipede.
of has
Yeah.
to.
Oh
Oh
my
my
god. I
god,
know
no,
that. Oh my god.
don't mention that.
I'm not
Oh,
going to go into it. I'm just going to how he has them chained to the bed and explains exactly what's going to happen to them. It's just quite horrific.
It's
oh,
That
this
dude,
human
That
centipede.
movie is
Don't mention.
horrific.
Oh my
I'd
god.
be
dude.
biting my. I'd be like
They're,
Saw. I'd
they're,
cut my
they're-
own arm off to get out of that bed if that's going to happen. God.
What
Oh,
saw
You
treatment?
you should have an episode on that actually.
I don't want to be. I don't want to be part of the human centipede in any way ever.
Oh God.
I would
Oh,
rather
Pray
but
to be at the
die.
front. Pray to be at the front.
Yeah,
oh
no.
god.
Even if I was at the front, that would be very uncomfortable. And I do not want that.
I remember I was kind of squeamish when I'm watching that movie. Oh my god.
Like you
Oh.
should.
I couldn't handle it. Honestly, couldn't handle it.
Disturbing. Yeah, it's very disturbing.
It's just a lot of torture, essentially.
It's just fucked up.
Yeah.
It is fucked. Fucked. Being correct. Quite precisely, yes. Fucked up. God.
If you guys are gonna ask
Oh, yeah.
me,
Yeah.
if you guys are gonna ask me what I do if a cannibal captures me, well, let's say he probably knocks me out and then fucking drags me into a basement. I wouldn't really have much of a fighting chance if I'm chained to a wall or something or in a cage. So I think my best bet would to negotiate with him. So let's say he was gonna fucking kill me and eat me on the spot, or maybe just eat me already. I might try to convince him to just
Okay.
I might try to convince him to take only little parts of me, of my flesh, and not just kill me and eat me immediately. Just tell him to savor the flavor instead of just
So
going.
you want to be tortured?
No,
Oh,
no, hell no. I'm just buying myself
this kind
time.
of what?
I'm buying myself time. I don't want him to kill me immediately. Of course, I don't want him to kill me immediately. I gotta negotiate with him. Tell him to just only take little parts of me, for and once he's like chunk off my fucking leg or something, that's when I try to find a way to escape. Because if a cannibal captures you, chances are he's gonna kill you on the spot. So your best bet would be to buy yourself time before you do something.
Actually, I disagree with you actually, because you say they want to kill you on the spot. I think because obviously when you buy chicken or pork, you put it in the fridge, it has like an expiry date. You're more
yeah.
likely to be kept alive, and you'd be slowly dismembered to keep the meat fresh.
Oh,
If
so
they
I
kill
don't.
you,
I don't even have to negotiate with them.
Oh my.
that's
Why would
horrible.
you negotiate with someone who wants to eat you? I mean, regardless, it's not going to be a fun situation.
So they're
Yeah.
going to finish with the head.
Oh my god.
Do we
Well,
have no arms, no legs, no penis?
I guess. Well, the negotiation should occur on which part of the body they should take first. So I could negotiate. No, I mean like
they're gonna eat someone. They've planned it out.
Negotiate. Oh, take my fingers first.
no, not the fingers. Obviously not the fingers. That's a bad place to get cut off. Probably like
Unless you're a pianist.
take a chunk off my leg. Like just figure out which part of you they're gonna take first, which is the less painful, which is the not gonna damage your movements or some shit like that. It's more on which part they're gonna cut off first.
Do you think
You're-
they haven't planned this out completely already? Like, if they're gonna eat a person, chances are they've planned out every move, what part they're eating, when.
Well, chances are they
even if-
haven't. The
They
slight
gotta
chance that
get
they
rid of the
haven't.
evidence quick. They gotta dispose of the body quick, easy.
But it's like, I'm
Lost.
going to allude to. I'm going to allude
Okay.
to the next question. I'm going to allude to
Yeah.
to the next question. But your best chances is not to negotiate, but considering someone who's a cannibal is seriously in Western society has got to mental illness. Best to play the mother figure
Yeah, let's
and
yeah.
act.
let's-
Yeah, act. Yeah, it's been done in films and it's worked. It's worked. It's worked in Psycho. It's worked in. I can't remember the actual names, but it's worked in Dexter. If anyone's seen Dexter series, where someone's been. Yes, so this woman has got trapped by this serial killer, and she plays the mother figure, and she talks to him like his mother, and it works. Well, it worked till she ran away, but
Oh, you just you play with your heads. That's how you do it.
Temporary solution.
Yep, it works. It's some way of subduing. Just was they're seriously disturbed if they're going to kind of chain you up, but yeah, that's what I can really.
Main killer.
Yeah,
the guy we're like watching, that we're rooting for. It's a little.
Say that again. Oh god.
Like the main guy that we're supposed to be like rooting for is the one killing people.
Yeah, he's the. Yeah,
Dexter is a dark show. I remember.
Yeah.
For seeing.
they're doing another season after about 10 years. Yeah, with
Really?
Michael C. Hall. Yeah, it was just on the lastly to with the. Has anyone seen I Spit on Your Grave, the remake?
I spit on your
No.
grave.
It was made in the 70s about this writer who goes she has a escape retreat and she goes to write and she's basically in the wilderness and then people basically come and gang rape her, pretty much. Sorry
Oh my
to,
god, what
Oh.
the fuck? Whoa, whoa.
and it was that. But what it's like the whole theme about revenge film, but where she gets she gets gang raped and then she goes to get revenge
What?
and she murders everyone. And there was one
Oh.
scene, and it's to do with cannibalism. It's remade. It was remade in the 2013 of the original, and what she did at the end, as you're a man, he changed up because she has him chained up in somewhere, and she's his last, he's her last target, and it's hard to watch. She gets a pair of shears, and he's goading her, and then you don't see the actual cutting, but she gets her shears and slices his penis
Oh
off
my
and
god.
shoves it in his mouth,
Oh,
and that's the
Alright.
only film that made me physically
oh,
gag.
oh,
Yeah,
oh my god.
Oh. Oh
That
my.
is
it's
okay,
it's not
okay.
no.
Okay, okay. Let's go. But all right, all
What
right.
the
Okay, sure.
hell? Oh my
That's something to
god.
watch.
That is wow.
Let's go.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
That is that is something. That is something. I can say that. That is something.
Yeah.
It's seen on YouTube, I'm
Let's.
sure. It's not banned or
Letting me
anything.
know what not to watch ever.
Oh my god.
I'm-
Okay,
Well,
let's just go.
I think we gotta get Dragon J to blur some of that out.
He has to bleep some of that out.
Rape and revenge kind of film. That's kind of
Huh.
you get it all the time.
Yeah,
Okay, okay. Now,
Anyway,
now
sorry.
next. Okay, don't worry about it. Okay, now the next question. Do you think there's mental issues or psychology behind cannibalism?
Chances are, yeah. That's a
Yeah,
quick
what?
one for me to answer.
Okay. So, like, do you know anything? What's wrong with them? Do you think there's a mental issue, like why they're doing this? Probably by trauma or something.
There could be something that happened in their life that led them to do it, or just maybe it's something
what
that
if
they
like
started doing and were driven to the point of insanity.
I mean
What if the reason isn't too serious? What if like this one person just thought humans could be
delicious? Maybe I should try it out, and then they just did it, and then
Well, yeah.
that's really really good, and then they just kept doing it, and it's just a habit thing.
Well, I bite my nails. That's technically kind of cannibalism. I love eating my nails. I taste delicious.
That
I
goes
mean, I
back
mean
to my.
there's two. Sorry, go
I-
on.
It's like when I brought up Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It was in one of the reboots that kind of explained why that one of them started making the whole family do it. Is because he was traumatized. He like fought in I think Korea,
Mm,
and like they had to eat each other or die. So
Mhm.
it was just a
Yeah.
last ditch effort that eventually drove him to insanity. Guy was played by Arlie Ermy, by the way. It's a great role.
yeah, I've heard of it. I think
Oh
he's
yeah,
dead now.
Ali Hermy. He was in Full Metal Jacket. I love that guy.
Yeah, everyone
A
knows.
brilliant actor. Oh, he's a brilliant actor. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, he's a brilliant actor. I think he's dead now. Yeah.
Damn.
Full Metal
I
Jacket.
mean, sorry, go on.
Yeah, I was just making a comment. I wasn't really saying the whole sentence.
I mean, psychology. I mean, just to mention what you just said about kind of stuff. It's like kind of things that happen to you as a child. It's generally really like bad parenting in the extreme. Like, I mean, there's two. I don't know if you've heard of Albert Fish or Jeffrey Dahmer.
Dahmer, I've heard that name.
Yeah, he's very famous. He took it was a sexual gratification. He found it sexually arousing to eat people, and
Oh
he
my god.
saw them. Yeah, it's a mental
Oh.
health, but obviously in Western society, it's mental health. In ritualistic kind of tribal society, it's ritualistic.
Normal.
So, like I said, it's kind of they eat people because they think by eating them they get spiritual power, and quite rightly they get more strong spiritually and but there's it's a disorder. I mean, it's just not natural in Western society, considering you've been brought up. It's usually to do with what happens in childhood, or you notice with the serial killers, they've always got a troubled upbringing. Not
Yeah.
saying that everyone who has a troubled upbringing turns into a cannibal or a serial killer, but it's just a complete neglect in those kind of, from a psychological standpoint, from the first 2 years of your life and into kind of your younger years, can have a damaging effect.
Yeah.
So it's not an excuse, but I think it's just something that's very rare now anyway. So
Yeah.
it's not something in Western society. It's just so rare. People want to kill people for gang wars or something. It's never to do with even the
Yeah.
kind of
Oh my
cartels
God.
don't brave themselves.
Can you even imagine that gang wars, and then when they kill the other people, they just start eating them?
Oh god.
Yeah, but if you know, I don't know if you know. I don't like to go off topic too much, but the way cartels kill each other is extremely. I'm not going to say the website. There is a website which you can actually see live beheadings.
Oh yeah,
Oh
actually,
god,
yeah,
I've seen
I
those
know.
sites.
I've seen a few of
What
those.
can I say? Can I say the website?
I think I know which one.
I
I've seen a
think
few.
we can
Score.
just cut it off with
Yeah.
it. So I guess you can see it.
Best score.
Yeah, score.com. Yeah. Oh, the stuff you can see on there. It's not illegal. It's
No?
completely not blocked. It's the stuff you can see on there. I mean, I just
It
can't
was
watch
so
it.
fucked
Just,
up. Actually,
it is, but you say fucked up, but I think it more basically just exposes the reality of what people go through. It's not, if you watch it for
and
enjoyment
the
purposes, no.
and the reality that people go through is fucked up.
What I mean, how they kind of dismember you bit by bit, cut your eyes out, cut your tongue out, and just
Oh
don't
my
eat you.
God.
They just
Oh,
a necklacing where they put a tie around your neck and they set it on fire and you burn to death. It's just absolutely feral, brutal ways the cartel members dispose of their rivals.
They
I
got
saw a video.
No one's
I
from
saw a
Brazil.
video once. I actually saw a video once in bestscore.com where there was this guy. There were two guys. One of them was standing, and then I was like wondering what was going to happen here. And then a chainsaw was suddenly brought up, and you can imagine
Yeah,
next.
Then it just clicked in your brain.
it just goes like that escalates
Yeah, I just go, wow,
quickly.
that's certainly something.
There goes sleep for the next 5
Oh my God.
yeah. Alright. Now to my favorite section. Would you rather? Now, would you rather in a situation in the woods save your friends that got captured by a cannibal or run away and leaving your friends behind? Actually, I'm gonna change it to cannibals. There's more than one.
Well, then there goes my argument.
What?
Oh, it's more than one. Okay, I was thinking of one person. I like the same thing. Okay, fair enough.
Chances are you can probably help him out if it's one guy, but if it's more than one, it's possible, but your odds are a little slimmer.
Mhm.
So, who knows?
I mean, the thing is, when it's in the woods, it's their territory. They know it's all the famous movies.
Yeah, they know the
Wrong
ins and
turn.
Like
Have you
Wrong
seen
Turn. They have the booby traps. Is what you're about.
Yeah, they
Have
know.
you seen
Wrong Turn. Yeah,
Have you seen the Green Inferno?
yeah. Because I mentioned that earlier on. Yeah, I've not seen it. I've seen the scenes, but I've oh god.
seen it itself.
The Green Inferno and Wrong Turn, basically forest
And cannibals aren't a good combination.
Yes, exactly. Because they're in touch with nature.
In touch with nature. That's what
the,
it
the
is.
Best
wrong
thing is
the,
to do.
the wrong
The wrong.
the Wrong Turn people. They're not really in touch with nature. They know their shit very well, and
They're also pretty
Yeah.
good. They're also pretty good with tools.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they gotta kill people
It's just like
somehow.
start playing your grandmaster at chess. You've got no chance. They know the boards too well.
They know every single play before you make it.
So you guys leave your friends behind and run away.
Okay.
If
Okay,
there's
hold
more
on.
than one, I mean,
I'd
guns an
I'd
option?
run away to think. I'd think about it in a clear head.
Are guns an option? Can we use
We have
those?
guns. We have guns.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
can we-
you're in the woods. Why would or like if you're going camping and why would you bring a gun, right?
I mean, some people actually bring guns while camping, and
Yeah, honestly, the last few times I've been camping, people go around with guns.
Oh,
Most
really?
Okay, I'm in the UK. There's no guns here.
Yeah,
Oh.
around here it's like just in case of a bear or like a wolf pack or something like that.
That's one thing we don't have to worry about wolves and bears in the UK because they're not native.
Yep, but here it's different.
Well, America.
Look, if I'm
Yes,
being honest,
America.
I would like to give out my answer first. It
Yeah,
depends
yeah.
on
Go.
it depends on which friend it is. Okay, it's the
With
okay. Look at me. Okay, let me think. So if this was a guy, let's say this was a guy that I've known for a long time. I'm really close with him. We're like brothers, and we know each other very well. We get along a lot. I would risk my ass. I
Yeah.
would run in, fucking save him. I would try to. At least if I don't, I guess we're both dead. I guess we're both dinner. But if it wasn't somebody that I was very close to, if it was just somebody that was just somebody I knew. It wasn't really that close of a friend to me. It was somebody that I even hate a little bit. I'm out of there. Not with it.
Jesus, dude.
I mean, it depends on which friend it is. That's the thing. But
Okay.
even if I did consider leaving the one guy who I'm not close to, there
Note to
would
self:
still be
never go in the woods with heater.
there would be some conscience in me, even though I would consider leaving whoever it is if I'm not close to them. But I would be too guilty to just leave someone to die. So I might just go run and risk my ass either way. It's just the moral standpoint that I'm.
Mm.
To
It's
self,
not
don't
really
do anything with heater ever.
no insomnia. Either way, even if I was close to the person I'm with or not, I would still run in and save whoever it is. Say yes. Say yes for me.
Okay, what about you, James?
Well, if you're in a desert island, I mean, surely there must be animals and plants that you can feed off of. That probably could be edible. And the
Yeah.
thing is, what people don't seem to realize is that in every single recorded case where people have been in that situation, but it's not against the law in that situation, it's been done. I've heard of sailors been shipwrecked. They've had to eat people. They've survived. So you can't underestimate the strength of the human will to live because you might go out a whole day without being hungry and you'd feel like it's very uncomfortable in the stomach. And then
Mm.
times that by kind of like 30 days. I mean, we can go without food. As long as we've got water at least once a day, we're fine. But I mean, I would literally just say, do you know what? Okay, let's both live. Let's just kind of just maybe sacrifice some flesh, start off with that. And,
Oh.
but yeah, I would never, I would, and then probably when you're very hungry, you get delirious. So you can actually act quite rash and be very irrational. So
Definitely
you're
not
probably likely to. I mean, just come to a pact and just we'll just eat a piece of meat this day and eat a piece. I wouldn't. I would probably rather starve to death. I mean, no, I wouldn't. You wouldn't starve to death because no, I wouldn't starve to death. I would not kill someone, but I mean, it's just it'll be killed. I think it will get to that point. To be honest with you, when you're really really hungry, you will do anything. You really would.
Mm.
You just start like working out a schedule. On Thursday we eat part of Chuck. Friday,
You got like,
Friday it's Frank's
bro.
left kneecap. It's Frank's
You got
left
like
knee.
you got like
Not
a
like
list.
that.
You got like a
You
list.
just
Okay,
work
so
out a way to ration it all out.
you got like a list. Okay. So Monday it's me taking and then on Tuesday it's like a
Well, you
list.
wouldn't even know what Tuesday
Deal
is.
with
You wouldn't
Chuck
even know what
every
Tuesday is.
Thursday.
You wouldn't even know what Tuesday is. Every day will be the same because there's no. You wouldn't be able to judge. I
We're
mean,
just gonna have to hope it's Thursday.
if anyone's in the platform, you'll know. Yeah, the platform, that German, Spanish, sorry, Spanish film, the
Oh
platform that was on
yeah, dude,
Netflix.
the platform. Oh my
And
god, dude.
yeah,
Dude, I
and
love
what
that.
they had to resort to cannibalism. Yeah, it's a very extremely poetic,
That
metaphorical film.
yeah, that was a very
And
metaphorical film, if I'm being honest.
very, yeah, for communism, yeah, and kind of like the higher ranks and people at the top. And
Yeah,
people
the
at the
upper
bottom.
class, the lower class.
Yeah,
It
it's all to do with
was very economic too.
and just how he basically got to what you have to eat people to survive.
Yeah, like if you want to get through, if you want to live, you gotta do this, even though it's so
Yeah.
you gotta
In
kill
that film,
them.
though, I never saw a bathroom.
No, there is a bathroom. It's
Apparently there is.
attached.
I just never saw one.
No, it's the room that they're in. That's where the bathroom is.
Oh, okay. Oh,
The
God.
world is your bathroom.
Yeah, no, it's like they have a toilet there. There's the bedroom, and right beside the bedroom there's a toilet. So the bathroom is exactly where their room is, their platform
Huh.
is, and yeah.
Actually, did I ask the question? Wait, is it? Yeah. Oh yeah, is your situation got stranded on an island? Is someone is stranded with or stuck with that? You guys already gave your answers, right?
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah, I mean, oh, yeah. I
I
would
mean,
wait till rescue.
you would wait till rest. You would starve to death.
I wouldn't stop to this. No, I'd find means.
I mean, if rescue never comes, then you're gonna starve to death pretty well.
There's probably
I
some
mean,
kind of edible plant or
Yeah,
some
berries,
animal.
anyone. Yeah, there will be. I mean, there's probably wildlife. There has to be.
fruit.
Well,
Shit.
probably, but chances are they probably not. If you
So
think
there's
about it,
none. If there's none of that, so yeah,
so you so you search for edible plants.
yeah.
Yeah,
James,
and it,
that's a very
my
good.
phone battery.
Anything to eat, basically.
Sorry, go on. Sorry, James. That's a very.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still trying to figure out how to pronounce your name, James or something. But
Just say Jane.
what you
Just
said,
James, fine.
James, all
Yeah, we're
right. The
having
part
a
where
hard time saying his name. Oh my
yeah,
god.
so the part where you said just take parts of other people and give yours too. Yeah, that's not too bad. Honestly, that I could get by with that.
What work
Just
you have the schedule plan?
No, yeah.
partial cannibalism. That should work until we're just gonna do that until rescue arrives. So yeah, I guess we could like I heard that you could last 1 week without food or something, or
I hope
You
I don't
so.
can.
know.
Yeah,
I
you
don't know.
can. No, you can last more than that.
Oh, you can
You
last more
won't
than
even
one
need
week.
to.
You can last
Well,
more than 1 week without
But it's
food.
be
depend
very weak.
on what's your energy of your doing. Like, are you
Just think.
reserving? What?
Say that again. Sorry.
No, what your energy of doing daily of on that island? If
You're
you're
not really
using
going to be
too
running
much,
around. So yeah, you want. Look, that's the worst thing. Don't burn calories. Don't move excessively. Um, what you could probably do, obviously, you don't have the luxury of a vegetable peeler, but to just slice off flesh, it will be very, very horrible. The pain of yeah, you'd have to just if you got the luxury of knowing how to start a fire, you'd start a fire and cook your human flesh tastes like pork, according to
Yeah. I know that. I
people.
actually read that
Yeah. Oh,
once.
you know that. Yeah. I mean, if you're a
Definitely
Muslim, it's not going to be very good. It's not to put your
kind of bad
halal meat
for
above.
me. Oh my. Yeah, I'm a Muslim. All of them. Oh my god.
Oh, okay. So that's not
Oh
going to
yeah.
go very well.
Oh,
Pork, but
but
human pork can't be very
it's not.
good.
I mean, it's not actually
Yeah.
pork. It's human, so I guess you can eat it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Just
Um,
convince
what would you
yourself
even?
it's pork.
Well, it's just called human.
Unless
Oh.
cannibalism is also against your religion.
In a situation
Every-
like that, I don't think religion matters.
I
It's
don't think
just
No.
religion matters
we
anymore.
have to survive.
It's
Yeah, I
life or
guess. Yeah, I guess in survival, I'm just gonna eat someone.
It's nothing against like anyone's
but
religion.
but
It's just I need to live.
I mean the question is if there was a pig, say if there was a pig, would you eat it just to survive?
Yeah.
Oh.
If it was a pig, yeah, of course. It's food.
It's
But
more
it's
of a
kind of
question
tough
for
for me.
yeah, it's a question for
Yeah, it's
everyone.
kind.
Like
I know it's against some.
That's one animal you won't find on a desert island. Is a pig.
You'd probably find some kind of
You won't find a pig. You might find a deer or some kind of
if you
bird,
guys
but
have
it's not
seen
a pig.
Hey, you could
if you
find a
guys have
boar,
seen if you guys
depending
have
on
seen
Boy, yeah.
If you guys have seen Lord of the Flies, there's actually a
Basically.
scene where they
Yeah.
kill a pig and cut off its head.
Yes.
Put it on a stake.
Oh,
There's actually a pig in the desert island, so yeah, chances are there might be one too.
pigs
Oh, wow,
aren't
okay.
too easy to drop, though. Trust me.
Yeah. I love Lord of the Flies.
You might get killed by the pig, but yeah.
Yeah, no,
All
pigs
right,
are
now.
surprisingly violent and can kill you pretty easily.
Yeah. If it's a
For what
boar,
they
yeah.
look like, they're absolutely terrifying.
Hmm. Now let's go to the next one. you rather eat a human head or eating a human foot?
That's a tough
A
one.
foot
This is a
or
tough
a
one.
head?
It's not tough, really, but I'll let you go first.
I'd say there's
Oh.
more like meat in the foot than the
I
head,
mean,
because like your
well,
head's got the skull and everything.
it's not really a
But-
tough choice. I mean, it's definitely I'm really going for the foot because it will be very uncomfortable eating a human head. I'm just, getting that out there.
Yeah, that would be a little weird. I can see
Yeah,
why.
you're just eating it and staring into its dead eyes, like,
This is a person. This used to be a person.
I just peel it off the skull. Peel it off the
Yeah,
skull and try to make it look like it wasn't on someone's face before.
yeah, you're looking at it. You're eating. You're looking at the
Human head with your fork and knife, and you're like, this used to be a
Your
person.
fork and knife.
and I'm about,
knife, knife and fork.
I'm imagining it like it's on a plate or something. There's a human head, and you're staring at it like this used to be a person before, and I'm going to eat it. I'm going
Yeah,
to eat it.
you could do that with the foot too. Just this used to be on a person before, and
Yeah,
I'm going
but,
to
if,
eat it.
but if it's a foot, then it's, you know, it's way easier to eat a foot than a head because
Because if it's a foot, you could, you're not really imagining human. You're
imagining a foot.
I agree.
What?
The head is the most
Mhm.
distinguishable part of a human. That's why you get reminded that it's a person when you see the head.
I don't think there are many things out there that have similar feet to humans. Like, yes, apes,
Yes.
but
No, I mean like if it's a foot, of course you're gonna know it's a human's, but it's way less uncomfortable to eat than a head. I'm just getting it out there.
Hmm.
I guess, yeah, I can see your point.
What about you,
Yeah,
James? Would you eat a head or
Well,
foot?
when you said the head, I thought obviously you can't bite into a skull because it's just you're gonna
Yeah,
break
you
the chatter
definitely-
your teeth.
Yeah, you
So what I'd say, I don't know how I'd go about eating a human head, but if the brain was an option, I would refuse for the simple reason that eating brains has been proven to transmit spongiform encephalopathy. If anyone's heard of that, probably not.
That's a big word.
So it's it's quite hard to pronounce. If I'm thinking on top of my head, spongiform encephalopathy. It's basically similar to BSE or the mad cow disease, if you remember that from a long time ago. So these tribes that practiced on eating brains, and they called it kuru, and I think they're called the four people of Papua New Guinea. Yeah, four people of Papua New Guinea. They called it kuru, and it means to shake. It's similar to Alzheimer's. So basically, they because they ate the brains, they transmit this virus, and they died. They were really, really ill, and they died straight afterwards. And I've been to China, and I've eaten chicken feet, and like our feet, there's not really much meat on it. So I think eating foot would be quicker and rather more pleasant. It's like eating a spare rib. There's not much meat on the foot. It's all kind of bones. There's so many bones in the foot. It's
Falls right off the
unbelievable.
bone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cooks
So
the meat
I'm going
falls
for
right
the foot.
off.
Now, this is kind of similar to the next question, to the previous one. Would you rather eat the body raw or cook it first?
Raw meat is disgusting. Depending on what it is, like I know there's sushi, but that's like fish.
That's
If
Yeah,
fish.
yeah, that's fine.
if
It's not
people
me.
say that like humans taste like pork, no one's gonna eat raw pork.
No one even Red Rare doesn't
I
even
agree
like
with
to eat
that.
pork.
That's
So
just
yeah.
how
You
you
Yeah, I
wouldn't
do
eat
it.
can.
raw.
I
Yeah,
can.
you wouldn't eat raw chicken, so you wouldn't eat raw human.
You wouldn't just eat raw meat unless like you can, because the
Who
reason
the
we don't eat
hell even
raw
eats raw
animals is
meat?
like
I
salmonella,
mean,
stuff like that. But in a situation where it's
let's.
a person,
I
then
mean,
either way, it's a person that you're eating. But why eat it raw?
honestly, I was wondering what kind of raw we're talking here.
So let's say a human body, right?
Uncooked,
Is it
basically uncooked.
uncooked? So what we're saying. So
Think-
there's another question. There's another layer of questioning there.
Oh no.
So let's say it's raw. All right, uncooked. Is the person alive or
Mhm.
dead?
Uh,
Oh,
yeah,
right.
actually, we
That's the
should
question.
consider that. That is good to
Mm.
consider if they're dead or alive.
Generally,
mean-
they'd be dead because
I would say
situations
I mean,
situations when people have resorted to cannibalism, they've been dead and they've had no other option to
Yeah.
eat the person.
on
The
the
film
off chance
alive.
that you,
honestly,
the
if you
off
eat
chance-
someone alive, that's a little
yeah, that's
brutal.
well, that's brutal. I mean,
True, it happened.
on the off chance
does.
that you do choose to eat the body raw, If the person, it's actually kind of funny to me for some reason. If the person was alive and you just bite into their head and they start screaming, "Oh my god, the meat is alive!"
Jesus Christ.
No, I mean,
Bite into the head.
I'm not saying it in a nasty, gore fashion. I like bite into their hand like this, bite it, bite their finger, and then they start screaming. Oh my god, the meat is alive!
Of course
no.
they're gonna scream if they're alive and you bite them.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit funny in this situation because like I didn't know it was alive. Like you're just unaware. But yeah, I would honestly cook it Hannibal style too. Honestly, so it would be more tolerable.
Hannibal style.
Yeah, you'd only need to eat raw human meat if it was in dire circumstances, like if you're stranded in a kind of mountains, like that film Alive was about, kind of in your situation we just didn't have the access to heat. If you don't have heat, you can't cook. I mean, the best thing you can do is obviously, as I said, obviously eating raw meat's not good for you, or not eating raw humans not good for you in every aspect. It's probably the best thing to do is to safest bet is probably to peel and eat the skin first, because obviously skin's made up of a lot of water. That's probably the best thing to go for, rather than kind of diving into the kidneys or the stomach. Yeah, you'd eat the skin.
I mean, here in Florida,
anything for survival.
to cook something here in Florida, all you need is like the roof of a black car, and then there you go. You just need the sun.
Oh.
You need the sun and the roof of your car.
But
Is it like super
this
hot?
is in India.
Dude, cars around here turn into ovens.
Yeah, I mean, I've had the same.
Contributes to a lot of dog deaths.
Oh god, we don't leave like animals in cars because of that. Like we can't.
Oh, dude, if you do, what the hell?
There are entire rules against doing that around here. Like you can't have a child left alone in a car, or even like a teenager.
Oh yeah, a child left.
If it's gonna be quick, you just leave the car on, lock the doors, and have the AC on. If it's gonna be a quick thing.
Yo, honestly, when you brought that up, don't leave a child inside a hot car. Actually, I remember this one short story that I read. It's a creepypasta.
Oh no.
There was this dude. He had this like really busy schedule, and he had like a routine that he keeps forgetting and remembering. So because of this confusing shit that he had, forgetting his phone in his house and all that, he accidentally left his daughter inside the car, and the sun was really hot that day. He wasn't working.
Oh.
He was in his job for like 8 hours, I think, and his daughter was in the car, the hot sun, the whole time. And he drives back home to work, and he goes to the daycare that he was supposed to drop his at, and he realized that he never dropped her off at all. And then he suddenly smells something burning inside the car, and that's when he realized. He was like, he just forgot.
Oh god,
that's fucked up.
Yeah,
when he smelled burning inside the car. Did he eat her?
It's super fucked up.
Did he eat?
Did he what? What kind of question is that?
Did he eat her?
No,
sticking to the theme.
Actually, sticking to the theme, of course, because the podcast it's about cannibalism.
Yeah, how do you explain that, by the way? How do you explain? So, I left the kid in the car.
Yeah.
Let's just say we're gonna need to arrange a certain ceremony.
You didn't think she might actually break the window if she was that in distress?
Well, depends on how old they are.
Blazing windows in cars.
No, and I forgot to mention she fell asleep on the way to work. So.
Oh my god.
Oh, so she didn't know. Right.
She was asleep.
I mean, if there's any way you'd want to die, it would be in your sleep.
Well, yeah, but burning to death in your sleep. How can you burn to death in your sleep?
I mean, yeah, you definitely can. You definitely
burn that.
Took too much NyQuil.
I mean, there's like no water inside the car at the time, and it was really hot. So
and if it came to breaking the windows, it also depends on how old the kid is. Because like, I
could've
don't see a 3-year-old breaking a car windshield.
Yeah.
Doesn't really understand the concept of glass, does it?
Could have been like a heat stroke or something.
Oh wait a minute, you can just pull the lock open inside and open the
Yeah.
That's also.
Unless you like lock the car.
Yeah, but if you lock the car, you can unlock it from inside.
Yeah, I guess you can.
Yeah, you're not locked in a car, so who knows? It probably happened when the kid was asleep.
Yeah, she was asleep. So yeah.
Chances are the kid was asleep, wasn't able to wake up and kind of figure out their situation.
Let's stick to the theme though, however. We're kind of driving off topic. He ate her at the end.
Yeah. All right. Should go to the last one. Movies in review. Lord of the Flies. We're going to discuss the theme of savagery and your opinion of the concept itself. What are your thoughts about the movie itself?
Well, judging
Okay.
by I forgot completely, and that's on me. It was probably good. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I've mentioned it before.
Before
Sorry, you go first. Sorry.
Right.
Okay. No, I've watched. I've not watched. Sorry, I keep. But you go first. Go on.
I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just, I'm just
The
gonna make a
delay
comment.
is.
Yeah, I mean, it does fit into the whole desert island thing. I mean, quite fairly because they went on I think it was a school trip and the plane. I mean, the funny thing is to survive a plane crash and everyone survives is actually very impressive. Funny, all the teachers died. That was quite weird.
Only the teachers.
Only the teachers.
Yes,
I used
course.
to be a teacher. Leave us alone. Yeah, so
Get rid
it's
of the only people that know how to deal with the situation.
exactly. But then people just lose
Oh
their
my
minds,
god.
and
How convenient. The only people who know how to deal with the situation are dead, and it's only the people who are fucking dumb. Well,
but then the teachers don't give a shit about being a teacher when you're stranded on a desert island. It's not like I'm still working. It's like, I'm sorry, I'm no longer working for a school. I'm hitting it for myself.
Some teachers would probably think, okay, well, I don't want to be responsible for just letting these kids kill each other or just die. If they have some kind of conscience or morals, they're not just going
It
to
just
want
got to the
Something.
point.
kids to die.
Got to the point where there's two camps and there's two sides, and this happens. Oh, well, it's just quite. If anyone knows of the Stanford Prison Experiment by Zimbardo, or quite famous psychologist, I remember studying it of how people just take sides, and it gets absolutely dirty when people just. The Mist is a very good example. I don't mean to detract, but The Mist is a very good example. If you've anyone seen a film with Tom James, where people are locked in a mall, so it's like a desert island, but they're stuck in a mall, and people they can't go outside, and they start creating
Yeah,
factions, and then there's one woman who's a religious absolute maniac, and another. Yeah, so it's the same kind of thematic content of when people are secluded. And you've got it even in the Mist series. If you've seen the Mist series, it's when people are shoved together,
Yeah.
chaos ensues. And with the Lord of the Flies, it was about to get really nasty until the people came up, and one camp was basically getting killed off gradually when it was left. I think his name was Ralph. I can't remember the name of the blonde boy who was the leader, so to speak, of the other gang who was blonde hair.
I think his name was Jack.
Pretty boy.
I think his name was
Is it
Jack.
Jack? Okay, Jack. Yeah. And you had Jack and Ralph, and then Ralph basically was almost had no one, and it was by himself. And then it got to a climax, and then when it got to the climax, and they was fighting, and then so and so turned up to rescue them.
Oh,
Of course, those were in the days where they didn't really have GPS quite well, quite good. I think the book's a lot better. I've not seen.
Yeah.
I've not read the book by William Golding, but it's very, very, very.
sometimes
people-
books are a lot better than film.
A lot
But you
of
have to
people,
appreciate. I mean, it's correct. Yeah, but the book
Yeah,
a
will
lot of
never.
people a lot of people are saying the book is way better than the adaptation. A lot of are even saying that the adaptation is terrible.
I mean, you can't really meet the original praise that
There's
the
too
first
much there.
movie
Yeah.
got. Like, if it's something like a novel, if it does really well and you try to adapt it to film, you're gonna have to cut stuff out, and maybe those parts are like what made it good to some people. But
Yeah,
You're right. You can't fit it all in.
you can't meet the hype of the original. That's how it works
Think
when it
about
comes to movies and
Yeah.
the best movies by not by Stephen King. The best movies based on Stephen King's novels are not on his novels. It's on his short stories and novellas. Like Misery was absolutely phenomenal, and that was based on a short story.
I think short stories do a lot better.
Shining, yeah, the short because there's less.
There's less
It's
to have.
actually
Yeah,
if you've
but-
ever read The Stand, which was, I mean, the book's about kind of almost a meter thick, and that's why they had to do the film in several parts. It's just too much to go on.
It's kind of like what they did with It, except somehow both times they messed up the second part. But wait, that's over 1,000 pages. You have to cut stuff down. And there's honestly one scene in there I'm happy never got put into any of it.
Oh my god, we're not gonna talk about that.
Yeah, no, we're not gonna.
Don't spoil it.
But we
We're
all
not gonna.
No, it's a scene that should not even have existed in the book.
Yeah, it's so bad. It's so bad that we're not even gonna talk about it in this podcast.
Yep.
If we do, Dragon Jason is gonna cut a whole segment out if we do.
We're gonna get demonetized.
Yeah, we're gonna get. Yeah, YouTube is gonna fuck us up if we talk about it. So let's just not.
Let's just end it there.
Alright, so we're just gonna end this podcast here. So what do we learn about this?
Oh, cannibalism is such a fucked up thing. It's such a fucked up thing. Honestly, I talk like I could handle cannibalism if I was faced with the option, if I had no other choice. But honestly, it would be if I was faced with I had no other choice but to eat human flesh. I would fucking get scared. I would rather starve to death than eat a human being.
Okay.
It's just so weird.
Well, to be honest, sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. You go ahead. I'm done anyway.
I just think at the end of the day, I don't know what your stances are on burial. I don't want to be buried. I want to be cremated. I want my ashes to be. At the end of the day, you're going to be eaten by someone or something. So if you get eaten by someone, that's fine. But I'm thinking if I ever, for unfortunate reasons, have a limb amputated, I really think I'd consider actually eating. It's my flesh. It's mine. I can eat it. I'll consider doing it. I'm even thinking when my cat dies, to skin her and cook her.
Oh,
barbecue.
Okay.
What?
Hold on.
What? Oh my god.
Oh,
I
right.
was so wrong with that. She's dead. I'm not going to kill her.
I have so many questions.
I know.
But unfortunately, the viewers wouldn't know. This is the end.
Consider.
Goodbye.
Cheers.
This is the end.
Alright, bye-bye.
Goodbye.